What's going on, guys? So I know recently I have uploaded pretty much exclusively Turbo X videos, but with SOC coming and everything else, you know, there will be a break from Turbo X videos for at least a couple weeks. But today I'm here to talk to you guys about the 9.5 Aero. I want to discuss 7 things that I really love about this car. Now, you'll have to excuse how dirty the car is. This is being filmed literally the night before I leave for SOC, and I usually don't rush my videos or anything like this, so I apologize that the car is not clean for the video, and I'm sure that you guys can forgive me on that. This is our 2004 Saab 9.5 Aero, and the first thing that I absolutely love about this car are the looks. Now, because it is the Aero, you do have a few extra features on it, specifically looks-wise, my favorite being that front bumper. It just looks so aggressive and amazing. I just love it. There's no words to describe how much I like that front bumper. You also have the wheels and a few extra bits that make it unique as the Aero, but as a whole, the Aero just looks so good. The 9.5 as a whole, it's just such a good looking car, and I've always loved how the 9.5 looks. Now, stepping inside, the second thing that I love about this car are the seats. Now, in my Turbo X videos, you guys might remember how I've said that I kind of wish the seats were a bit better, and I wish that the seats were a bit more like this car, because in the 9.5 Aero, I just feel like these seats just hug me better. They're a bit softer. Maybe it's the leather is a bit better, I don't know. But just everything about them just seems a little bit better than my Turbo X seats. And I already like my Turbo X seats, don't get me wrong, but these are just my favorite seats. I mean, I have not really been in a car with seats that I have liked better to drive in, to drive aggressively in. I mean, they're very nice and comfortable for daily driving, but at the same time, if you do want to drive aggressively, they can keep you in place and they're still very comfortable and, you know, sporty. So the third thing that I love about this car is the engine, and specifically with the engine, kind of the modability of it. So when I say modability, I mean this engine is stock and it makes about 260 horsepower in the Aero trim, but with the tune and some minor mods, you can get that up to 300. And unfortunately, with this motor, if you want a whole lot more power than that, you're gonna have to really start to upgrade the internals. But if you do upgrade the internals in this car, you can get serious power numbers. And I know there are countless 9.5s out there that make 400, 500, even 600 horsepower at the crank or even at the wheels, and they're just crazy how fast these things can be. So the fourth thing that I love about this car is the reliability. Now, we have 2 9.5s in our family, one of them being this, of course, and the other one being our 9.5 wagon, which is the same year. It's just an ARC, not an Aero. The wagon we've had since new, and it has just over 250,000 miles on it, and I mean, you can't really have a car that's not reliable with that many miles on it. So that just goes to show how reliable these cars are. Now, I know I made a video talking about some common problems with this specific motor, the B235, but all in all, and as I said in that video and as I'll say again here, it's a very reliable motor. There are plenty of 9.5s, plenty of Vigans that have this same motor that are very reliable and are very high mileage. So if you are looking for something that's also fast as well as a good reliable daily driver, look no further than one of these, especially if it's one that's been well maintained. They can last you for hundreds of thousands of miles pretty easily with regular maintenance. Now, the fifth thing that I love about this car is the size. So as you can see, it's bigger than the 9.3. I mean, the 9.5 was meant to be a bigger car. It is a bigger car. Of course, that means it's more practical. Now, of course, this is not as practical as our wagon, but pop the trunk here. I mean, you still have a very big trunk space in here. Of course, you have the pass-through to the main cabin right there as well. But it's a very practical car. I mean, my family went to Mexico for an entire week a couple months ago, and we fit everything that we needed into this car. Everything that we needed for a week, it all fit into this car, along with 4 people, so that was pretty crazy. But jumping into the back seat, as you can see, I've got plenty of room. I mean, the seat is where I would be if I were sitting, you know, if I were driving, and I've got a couple inches between my legs and the seat, and I mean, I'm 6 feet tall and I have very long legs, so the car is very practical. You could see 4, even 5 adults in here very comfortably, and I love that about it. You know, there's just so many things that this car does well. So of course, the 6th thing that I love about this, and the thing that I love about any Saab, is all of its quirks and its unique features, just because it's a Saab. And you guys that own Saabs know exactly what I'm talking about. You got, just little features like the key being down here for safety reasons. You've got your night panel button, just so many little Saab quirks and features that I could just spend so much time listing off. Just makes me love the car even more, you know, that I get in it and I drive at night and I can turn on night panel, or, you know, every time I start and I put the key down here instead of right behind the wheel over here. It's just those little things that just make you smile and make you happy as a Saab owner. The last thing that I love about this car is the sport mode. Now, I find this to be very odd that only the automatic cars have sport mode. Only the automatic 9.5s have a sport mode. And from what I can tell, it doesn't really do much. Now, to activate sport mode, all you do is basically press this S when you're in drive or whatever. And from all I've really noticed that it does is increase your throttle response and makes the transmission a bit more aggressive. You also have what's called winter mode, which is actually very helpful. So what winter mode does, if you're driving in cold weather and there's snow on the ground and you have really bad traction, what you can do is put on winter mode, and what that essentially does is it starts the car in its either 2nd or 3rd gear instead of 1st gear, and it helps you get a lot better traction at launch or at lower speed. So it's just something that, of course, here in Arizona, I would never use, we would never use, but it's still something cool to have, especially for those East Coast Saab owners. So with that being said, guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. There are 7 things that I love about the Saab 9.5 Aero. If you guys are watching this right now, that means that I am currently at SOC. I am currently in Maryland on the other side of the country. So if I did meet you guys there, thank you so much for all coming out and introducing yourselves. I'm sure it's going to be super awesome. I'm so excited for it. We're leaving tomorrow morning, so definitely look for all the content to come. If you guys want to see more SOC content, make sure to follow me on Instagram at auto.autopsy. I'll be posting more pictures on there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm clearly running out of sunlight. This is ending at a perfect time. I'll see you all next video. This always happens to me. Right after I finish recording, I think of one more thing that I wanted to say. So one more thing that I really love about this car is how safe it is, because Saab is always so paranoid about their safety. And the 9.5 sedan was, I'm pretty sure, the safest sedan produced for a certain period of time. Someone can provide more information on that, but just the safety of this car, that if I were to get in an accident, just how safe this thing is and how safe I would feel in it if I were to get in a crash. Don't come find